Jai Hind friend, if we speak about women in war, then Indian history is filled with many examples. To name a few, Begum Hajat Mahal, Rani Lakshmi Bai and Rani Chennamma and many more, who have proven their mettle in the battle. Even the legendary Indian National Army Azad Hind Fauj had a complete women battalion, Rani of Jhansi regiment, which was commanded by Lakshmi Sehgal. If we speak contemporary, then Avni Chaturvedi is the first woman to fly supersonic jet, and squadron leader Minty Agarwal is the first woman to receive a Youth Seva medal. If this is so, then why deny women permanent commission? I, Megha Singh Rathod, have brought this video titled Permanent Commission for Women in Army. It is based on landmark judgment of Supreme Court on 17 Feb 20, which has adjudged in favor of women. Let's hear this in very special voice, so let's start.
Jai Hind friends, Supreme Court has given a landmark judgment on 17 Feb 20. It has adjudged that the women are eligible for permanent commission in forces at par with their male counterparts in 10 branches of combat support. You can see that these are the cuttings of the newspaper here. This has been taken from the Hindu, and these 10 branches of combat supports are signals, engineers, army aviation, army air defense, electrical and mechanical engineers, army service corps, army ordnance corps, intelligence, judge advocate general department, army education corps. And the court ordered the government to comply in 3 months to its order. Then let's see what's the main issue. So the officer in defense joined through two commissions. First is PC, that is Permanent Commission, where they can serve up to 58 years of their age. And the other is SSC, that is Short Service Commission, where they have to serve for 10 years and they can get extension up to 4 more years. Now the issue is SSC male officers could apply for permanent commission after 10 years of their service, but women did not had this choice. So they were never given command appointments and could not be eligible for government pension. A military officer can only have pension after 20 years of military service. Now let us see what Supreme Court observed in this case. So first, the Supreme Court rejected government arguments against the women greater role and said it violates equality under law. Then, second, the biological argument that the women are weak was also rejected by the court. Then, third, it said that we must change our mindset and bring gender equality in defense. Fourth, court observed that the argument is based on sex stereotypes, mindset of patriarchal society which looks women inferior and gives them lowly roles. Now let's see what is the background of this case. Then in 1992, Center notified that women could be appointed for 5 years in a few branches such as Army Postal Service, Judge Advocate General Department, Army Education Corps, Signal Corps, Intelligence Corps, Corps of Engineers, Corps of Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, and Regiment of Artillery among other corps. Then came December 1996. Defense Ministry deleted this 5 years clause. Then came November 2005. Women's Special Entry Scheme, that is WSES, was replaced by SSC with an outer period of 14 years. And the first batch of women officers under the new scheme entered the army in 2008. Then, in between 2003 and 2006, many SSC women officers and Delhi High Court advocate Babita Punia gave a petition in Delhi High Court seeking permanent commission and equality of opportunity in army for SSC officers. Then came March 2010. Delhi High Court adjudged that women SSC officer of the Air Force, Army and Navy who had opted for PC but not granted that station would be entitled to PC, that is permanent commission, at par with the male short service commission officer with all consequential benefits. But government did not pay any notice to the judgment. Then these officers, lady officers, got infuriated and they put the contempt of the court in the Delhi High Court. Contempt proceedings were then initiated by the women officers against the Union of India for non-compliance with the High Court judgment, and this contempt was later stayed. Then came September 2nd, 2011. The Supreme Court took this case in it, means the case reaches the Supreme Court in appeal. Then lastly, this February 17, 20 came, and D.Y. Chandrachud and Hemant Gupta bench in its 54 pages of judgment adjudged that women officers are eligible for PC in 10 streams and command appointments and other benefits such as pensions. Then now we will evaluate that why the government was against this and what is the voice of the society, that why women should be granted permanent commission. So first we will see that why the government was against this. So the first is motherhood child care physiological limitations, that is they are weak physically and they are ought to be going through this motherhood, they will have child and they will have to take care. This all will have a bearing on the employments of the women officers in the army and defense. Then counter narrative to this was excluding women from commanding a unit. This argument is pointless. Then the second, why the government was against this: family separation, career prospect of husband, education of children, prolonged absence due to pregnancy and motherhood were a greater challenge for a woman to meet the exigency of the service, means they could not do favor because of this unseen regions and they could not meet with the exigency of the service. So counter narrative to this and what is the voice of the society is that if you see the past records, women take greater responsibility in uniform. And the IAF has allowed women to become fighter pilots and the army has sent them to tough UN peacekeeping missions, that is in Sudan, you call it Ethiopia, you call it in Congo, globally. Then again the third, why the government was against this: physical limitations. Officers are supposed to lead the soldiers in difficult terrains, isolated posts and adverse climate conditions. They must have prime physical build and they must be physically built up and strong to undertake combat tasks. The government said women were not fit to serve in ground combat roles. So what is the counter narrative to this and what is the voice of the society? We will see that a professional force doesn't discriminate on the basis of gender. It works because of training, that if you train two officers, that is one male or female, if the training is same, they will be responding when it comes to the war and when it comes to the combat roles same. So it works because of training, norms and culture. So denying women the post will be an extremely retrograde step, means it will be a very old one and will inflict irreparable injury to their dignity. Then the fourth is why the government was against this: behavioral and psychological challenges. That is, army units were a unique all-male environment, means if you see the ranks, you will find almost 100% of this ranks are male. So the presence of women officers would require moderated behavior. The male troops mostly comes from a rural background and may not be in a position to accept commands from a female leader. So women officers, means what is the counter narrative to this and what is the voice of the society? We will see that women officers are already commanding platoons, companies and second in command successfully, and all of the male soldiers accepting orders from them as part of professional forces. So, we will have a look at the order, what the Supreme Court actually said, and what will be its implications. Let's see one by one. So, the order is that it has been very contradictory stance of the government that in 2018 the government itself brought that women should be granted PC in 10 stream of the combat support arms and service wings, and this Supreme Court accepted this government policy. And why the government was in case with the women? Because the case was, you could very well see that it was started in 2003 and 2006. So this is the government responsibility to defend the case. So that's why it was defending. Then the second order was SSC women, that is short service commission women officers, are eligible for command assignments and not judge staff appointments. Then SSC women officers granted PC, that is permanent commission, will be entitled to all consequential benefits including promotion and financial gains. So what will be its implication? It will open avenues for further promotion to higher ranks for the women. Then in junior ranks and career courses, women officers would be attending the same training course and they will be eligible for critical appointments which are necessary for higher promotions. And this will put most of the loads on the HRM department of the army, which will need to change policy in order to comply with the order. So what is the way forward in this? So the way forward is senior military and political leadership must ensure a bigger change in the culture, norms and value of the rank and file of the force. So this complete video was all about that women must get permanent commission in the army, and it is the judgment of the Supreme Court also. So the government has 3 months only to comply with the judgment. So this was everything. I hope that you have liked this video. If you have liked this, please share, and still if you have not subscribed to the Royal Education, do subscribe it. Please hit the bell icon so you should never miss a video when I upload it. Thanks. Have a nice day.